think we're almost there.
Yeah.
All righty, we are live. We did it. I'm so proud. It was getting a little hairy for a second. But you know how we do it here at BIMS. Thank y'all so much for joining us for BIMS Dives. Welcome to BIMS TV. And today we're going to be diving into all of our plans for 2022. I'm Dr. Tiara Moore, founder and CEO of Black and Marine Science. I'm also the Black and Marine Science program lead at the Nature Conservancy. So it's my job to make sure that BIMS stays exactly how BIMS is, celebrating Black marine scientists, spreading environmental awareness, and inspiring the next generation of scientific thought leaders. And so I'm glad of the partnerships that we've been able to create and all the things that we have done over this past year that has allowed us to get here today. And so if you've been following us social media, you know, we've had some big things that we did last year, but ultimately we were able to fundraise very well to be able to expand our programming as well as our folks who work with us. So I'm excited to introduce to you all Q today, who is the BIMS executive expert. So Q, please tell the streets about yourself, what it is that you're doing here at BIMS, and then we'll get into just the Q&A of what we're going to be doing this year.
My name is Q, or Kier Simpson formerly. I am the executive expert for BIMS, which means a lot. I do a lot. Social media, your subscriptions on BIMS, I handle that. Sending out certain announcements. You're probably gonna get an email from me every now and again. All the speakers from BIMS Week 2021 should be familiar with me, sending you documents that you have to fill out and send back in return. And I'm glad to be a part of the team.
Yes, and we are so glad to have you. I will tell y'all that Q has really just saved us, saved Black Marine Science, really came in and got us organized, got us together, and really allowed us to level up again our logistics, our programming, and to just really see and inspire more Black marine scientists. So again, I'm so excited about all that we did for 2021, but I'm very excited to talk about what we have going on for 2022. So the first thing that we have starting in February, and it's actually going to be every week in February, we're calling the BIMS Hall, okay? So think about your regular town hall, but make it BIM style. And the purpose of this town hall, the BIMS Hall, is because there are a lot of questions about increasing diversity in marine science, about how to get into marine science, about how to diversify your workplace, all these things. And they are good questions. Y'all have good questions. But we get a lot of the same questions. And last year, we had a lot of one-on-one meetings, hours and hours and hours of meetings. And so we wanted to just have a coordinated space weekly where you all can come, you can register. There's a link in all of our social media bios on our website. You can just register with the Zoom link. And then you can come into a space just like this, and you can ask me any questions you want. Now you will be recorded and you will be live on YouTube. So make sure you're fine with asking these questions because some of y'all come in the inbox incorrect. So please go ahead and slide on YouTube with us. Come on into the BIMS Hall and really do come to get your questions answered. And so, like I said, I'm dedicating an hour a week, a whole hour dedicated to answer your questions, giving tips, giving advice, how to be a marine scientist, how to diversify, all of that. And that's going to be Tuesdays, 1 p.m. Eastern time, starting February 1st. So Q, how you feel about that? How you feel about the BIMS Hall?
You're probably gonna get a lot of questions. So I hope you're prepared. Disclaimer, I'm probably gonna have to do something for that too, huh?
Now, Q, this is what we're talking about. You're the executive expert. You have to do something for everything. That's the beauty of being here and being like,
But
rolling.
I'll be at Bims Hall too with y'all one period.
So yeah, so again, bring your questions, and also if you can't make that time, so we're telling you this time now so you can prepare. You can put it on your calendar like, oh, I got to make it to Bims Hall one of these Tuesdays. If you can't make it, you can submit your questions to me. You can submit it to our email. You submit it to Q, and she will make sure that we get those questions. Because again, we have to spend the time. It's not that I want to answer your questions, but now is the time for action. We have to start putting a lot of these questions and answer sessions into practice, into action. So BIMS has to have time to do the work that we would like to do. So again, not trying to be petty or rude. Oh, BIMS don't want to meet with nobody. No, BIMS has a lot of work to do. There is a huge gap in the diversity in marine science, specifically for Black people. And that's why we were created. So we understand everybody has their initiatives that they're trying to get off the ground, but just watch. Watch the blueprint. Look at a lot of our content. We have so many videos here on YouTube talking about the things that you ask questions about. So definitely check that out. But if not, please come to Bims Hall on Tuesdays at 1 p.m.
Yes.
All right. What's next?
So we have a special event for a powerful book by Dr. Jessica Hernandez and Dr. Rhonda Montgomery.
Yes.
But the book is titled Fresh Banana Leaves Meets Lessons from Plants.
That's two books. That's two books. Sorry, I wrote that like that. That's two different books.
Okay, so Fresh Banana Leaves and Lessons from Plants, which will there will be a Q&A as well. Really getting real truthful about decolonization and conservation. There's a great need to bring more diversity to the field that we're in. Personally, I've been in places where I've been the only me in the room a lot. Grew up going to school like that too. So it just shows you that there's a lack of representation, always has been. So why not try to fix that now before we go forward?
Yeah, I think that's so true. And I think what's exciting about this conversation with Dr. Rhonda Montgomery and Dr. Jessica Hernandez is that these are women of color, women leaders who are advocates and who are powerful truth tellers. I think that can be really what is missing in science, marine science, in the conversations when we're talking about there's a lack of diversity, why people don't feel welcome. I mean, why the ocean is on fire, if we don't think about diversity at all. There's a lack of truth telling of what actually is going on, what the needs are, what the concerns are, what's actually happening in the climate. And so you get a perpetuation of foolishness and the colonization of conservation that we've seen. So both of these books really just just tear down the walls on the foolishness, okay? And so they asked us, Black Marine Science, myself, to host this conversation. So I'm very excited about it because I'm bringing the real and raw. We're going to be talking honestly and deeply about these books, but also about their perspectives. Why is Indigenous knowledge being left out? Why do we understand the environments can be toxic for plants, but not humans? How can we not make those connections? So I'm very excited to be talking with them. And yeah, it's going to be a powerful conversation. So when is that going to be, Q?
There is not a date, so I'm guessing.
Well, it is February 3rd. See, this is me. It's February 3rd, y'all. It's actually going to be February 3rd, 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be right here on BIMS TV. Make sure you tune in. You don't have to register or anything. It's going to be an awesome conversation. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
But definitely tune in because, it's information you take back to your community. Oftentimes we left out. You speak to your cousin about something. looking at you like, I ain't never heard of that. You looking at them like, what you mean? You know, so
Where were
I mean,
you?
these are conversations you need to have. People growing up in lower socioeconomic classes or areas are often left out of a lot of education that other people are fortunate to get. And growing up by the beach, it was, you know, a lot of knowledge that I learned based on going to the school I went to and the people I were around. Like we would have beach cleanups and stuff like that. But when I went back home across the bridge, I'm learning stuff that they have no idea about. So we got to be a voice. We got to be the gap, go ahead and close the gap between us people that are out getting this education and those that may not have the opportunity to. At least they still know how to protect the environment.
Yeah, you know what? I think that is a really good point in a really large space where Black and Marine Science has been able to come in and try to be that voice. And I think for me, it really stemmed from a lot what you're saying as being the only person, in maybe in that STEM field, but also in your family that has gone on to, be a marine scientist. And they're like, girl, what you doing? why are you doing this? And so I think for me, throughout my educational journey, I've had to figure out always how to be a scientific communicator, or else I couldn't talk to my friends or my family about anything that I was doing. It's just like, oh, well, she's the nerd, she's the scientist. We're not going to talk to her. Versus me, I figured out how to talk about eutrophication and related. I always tell my friends it's like a buffet. You know how you go to a buffet, you eat too much. That's exactly what's happening in the water. And so that's just the story I've used. And my friends to this day will talk to me about eutrophication. I'm like, yes, look at y'all. So I think that's the gap that BIMS is definitely feeling, that bringing marine science specifically to the streets, to the streets.
Them's the street.
Streets. And I think that actually rolls into what let me see what's next. Look, let me see what's next, because I'm already off the script. This is
Bims Bites.
I want to tell y'all, we make scripts, we do, so we have a flow, but I just be talking. So I hope y'all are okay with that.
But yeah, enjoy conversation.
Exactly. But yeah, I think that, well, I was right. It does flow right into the BIMS Bites. What we're going to be talking about next is that I think we created BIMS Bites to do exactly that. How can we create 5-minute episodes about different marine science topics, whatever, and also have a Black marine scientist presented, so we can take that little piece of marine science and take it to our community, take it to not even our community, because I think that gets lost, but take it to other communities, allied communities who've never seen a Black person as a marine scientist, who doesn't even relate us or equipped us to be able to be marine scientists, because YouTube is open for everybody. Aunt Sally, Lou, Jacob, Ron, they can all watch these videos, and they're quick, it's not too long. And so I think that was definitely the idea behind BIMS Bites.
Bite-sized pieces of information.
Right. So yeah, this year we're going to be doing bi-weekly episodes. We are going to continue with the marine science topics, but we're also going to be introducing a BIMS Bites careers. And so we're going to have folks actually talking about a day in their life, like a day in their life as whatever they do as a marine scientist. Because I think I knew this in my head, but since being in the Black and marine science community, we do all types of stuff. Okay. There is not one type of marine scientist. We have photographers, videographers, people who are oyster chefs. And I'm like, what? People who do, go do coral reef research, people who use environmental DNA, people who do all different types of things. And so those are all different types of daily activities they're doing. So I'm excited about the BIMS Bites career.
We also have BIMS Bites Kids, which is monthly with Andrew Walker, starting February 19th at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern.
Yes, BIMS Bites Kids. So I'm very excited about our new take on BIMS Bites Kids, because kids, the children are the future, like and honestly, these new generations after me, it took me years to find my voice and finally speak up. They came out the womb talking, hey, you're not going to treat me. You're not going to treat me like this. So I'm very excited about youth and youth outreach. And so Bims Bites Kids is going to take the shape of, like she said, a monthly episode focused on K-5 and really just making it exciting, linking it with marine organisms, and then featuring Black marine scientists who work on those organisms. So the kids, hopefully you'll like it. We're definitely trying to inspire you and help you to see yourself, and you could be like us. So yeah, Bims Bites Kids is gonna be lit. Shout out to Andrew Walker.
Did the youth workshop during BIMS Week 2021. And we also had a Bims Reads moderated by Addie.
Yes, Addie.
Kids are a large part of this organization, and the more kids, the merrier. It's a lot more fun, a lot more joy when you get to like teach them new things and their eyes just light up and pop up. So we always looking out for the kids.
Yeah, like I said, they're the future of films, the future of the world, the future of everything. So yeah, for the youth.
So,
okay, what's next? What we doing next?
Our first BIMS Dives of the year. We're giving you the rundown of what to expect from us all year. But those will be every Friday, every last Friday of the month, at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So you guys can look forward to that. There'll be more planned though, however, and you'll have different speakers. We just kind of warm y'all up.
I am so so we have some info about the BIMS, some more about the BIMS Dives. So yeah, this one is loose and fast. We wanted to just bring y'all in lightly, but also so you can know what we have going on. We use social media a lot. We post a lot of flyers, but we understand everybody is not always on social media, and sometimes there's a lot of content that's posted out. So maybe you missed the flyer. But for BIMS Dives, we actually have a very, very exciting lineup. And so I'm not going to read through all of them because I want you, to be excited. But we have a dynamic list of speakers that range from marine science to marine technology. And so just a few. We're going to have Brandon Barney, who is the co-founder of Primary Ocean, and he'll be diving into seaweed cultivation and commercialization to help find solutions for climate change. So let me just take a second because that's so awesome. And I just have to get on my soapbox for 1 second. I feel like I probably told this story before, but when I was at UCLA, me and Dr. Camille Gaines, we were working on like macroalgal blooms. There's these huge, lots of eutrophication, nutrient pollution, and they have these huge algal blooms. And so we thought, wow, what if we, took these blooms that are, taking up this whole, covering this estuary, causing these impacts and concerns, and we turned this fertilizer. We turned it into fertilizer. So from algae to fertilizer, right? And so we wrote a whole innovation grant they had a call for, and they did not fund us. And I was like, dang, maybe this isn't a viable idea. Now, fast forward 85 years later, and everybody is talking about turning seaweed into some type of fertilizer or some type of reusing agent. So anyway, I just had to tell y'all that story, but I'm very excited that folks actually are doing this. And this is so cool that you can actually reuse seaweed. You can turn these things into renewable energy. You can help to mitigate climate change. So as y'all can tell, I'm excited about that particular episode. And I had to tell that backstory. Let me see who else we have that I can talk about. Oh, Dr. Justin Dunavant, who will be diving into maritime archaeology, and he'll help us to explore the relationship between ecology and enslavement in the former Danish West Indies. Q, how you feel about that?
I'm excited for that. That sounds real interesting to me. I need to go see what he talking about for real.
Honestly, as many times as we can talk about marine science and slavery, as many times as we can make that connection and really highlight it and put it out there and put it in the faces and really confront that, sign me up.
Because you also got to look at who actually needed to utilize a lot of those things back in the day. Like there were only certain groups of people really working for others. So that's gonna be an interesting conversation. I wonder what they dug up, what they found.
Yeah, I think that's a really cool job to have. I was thinking about what is it, diving with a purpose, how they're going and like diving and like looking up old slave ships that wrecked and things like that. And I'm like, it has to be some type of fit. I think specifically as a black scuba diver, if you're thinking about like ancestry and you're like down there, like literally diving amongst finding your ancestry and pieces of who you are and who you belong to. I think that's just such an interesting concept that's just left out. We don't talk about it at all because everybody's like hush hush, that never happened. Whereas,
I think we lose a piece of ourselves too when we get into professional career fields and are not amongst each other. It's kind of like that becomes your life in a sense. So it's always important to reach back and understand your culture, understand your history and where you came from and how you got where you are today.
exactly. Okay. All right, let's see. Last one I'll tell y'all about is another dynamic speaker, and she's Dr. Ayanna Flewellyn, who is an associate professor, a Black feminist, and storyteller who will be diving into maritime heritage conservation. So we got some different topics this year. We have some very exciting things that is going to be on BIMS Dive. So make sure you tune in the last Friday. Just so you know, we are also going to be launching a youth edition of BIMS Dives. We talked about the youth are the future. And so we want to be able to celebrate all age groups that are doing work in marine science. So be looking out for that. Then, similar to what we did last year, we're going to spend our November BIMS Dives talking all about BIMS Week 3, BIMS Week 3, BIMS Week 3. We're not going to talk about it yet, but we will talk about it before the end of this call is over. But November's BIMS Dives will be all about BIMS Week 3. And so, yeah, make sure you tune in last Friday of every month. That's it. What's next? Oh, you're on mute.
My apologies. But we want to hear from everybody, our BIMS members, our speakers, our guests, allies, associates, anybody, everybody. What do you want to see from us? What do you like to hear from us? Like what type of subjects do you want to talk about or discuss as well? Like we want to see it in the BIMS social media itself, on our BIMS members website. We're gonna have a lot of deep conversations in there. We're gonna touch on Twitter a little bit and get y'all warmed up on Twitter. We want to hear from y'all there. We want to hear from y'all on Instagram. Really trying to like bring in the community, like have real conversations and understand things even outside of these videos. So feel free to contact us and let us know what you want to see and what you want to hear.
I'm pulling the you move. Dang, I was talking hard. um, but no, Q, you really brought up a good point about the BIMS membership and the BIMS community. Is that we're here to support Black marine scientists. We're here to inspire you, to uplift your work, to amplify everything that you have going on. So definitely, we have our BIMS bulletin, our monthly newsletter, and it's jam packed with opportunities, events, activities. So please be checking your email. If you're not on the BIMS listserv, we'll talk about how to join that later. When Q talks about BIMS memberships. But we really do want to see, in community engagement, folks doing BIMS dives, doing BIMS bites. And so we can really see the excellent work that you're doing and you're creating. So yes, engage, engage, engage. All right. What's up next?
I think we
Bims.
just what else are we discussing? BIMS week 3?
No, so before that, I'll do quickly Bims Reads.
Right.
Right. So we started Bims Reads during Black and Marine Science Week. And the goal was to read. The goal was to read, of course, to highlight Black authors who have a connection with the ocean, authors who write about the ocean. And so, yeah, we had some really awesome readings during Black and Marine Science Week. If you missed it, we have a whole playlist called Bims Reads on our YouTube channel that you're currently on. But we're actually going to continue Bims Reads with a quarterly series. So starting on February 17th at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to be having our Bims Reads. And so we'll pick a book, we'll read from it, we'll have a conversation, have a Q&A. And then so we'll have, I think, 3 of those throughout the year. And then at the end, we are going to have an end of the year like book club reading party. Like we've been reading together, so now we're going to come together and have a space for community, a space for conversation, a space for networking. So yes, definitely tune in to Bims Reads. Oh, I should mention all the events that we have been talking about. You're already here for it. You have to come to the same spot you came today. Everything is live on our YouTube, or we'll be posting on our YouTube unless you see something different. So yeah, Bims Reads. You excited about Bims Reads, Q? You want to read some books?
I'm ready. You know, like SpongeBob say, I'm ready.
She's ready. She's ready. Okay. So those are all the things that's starting in February. It seems like a lot, but it is because we're doing a lot. We want to make a huge impact. And we want to do more, of course. And everybody wants us to do more, of course. But so all these things I think we were just talking about, they're starting in February. They'll either be bi-weekly like Bims Bites, monthly like Bims Bites Kids and Bims Dives, quarterly like Bims Reads, weekly like Bims Hall, and they'll all be live right here on YouTube for you to enjoy.
Right. And there's more things for you to enjoy, like subscribing to become a Black and Marine Science member.
Ooh.
The base membership is free. However, we do have some paid memberships, which include a BIMS t-shirt, a keychain, and a sticker. It comes in a compositable bag. So don't worry about harming the environment from the bag. You can throw it away. It's fine. But no, really, I'm looking to have some fun on our BIM social network. There are jobs, career opportunities there, internship opportunities, volunteer opportunities. We're going to be a lot more interactive. So there's going to be a lot of community conversation, posts that you can chime in on. You'll get announcements via email and via the website. So the links will be posted inside the chat for Black and Marine Science for you to apply. You can check out the website, look at what we have going on, hear more about how it started, because it started with a tweet. You know, tweet your way into marine science. So that's what we're going to do. Be a lot more social, engage with the community, because we know there's more of us out there and we're trying to get everybody in the same space.
Yes, BIMS memberships are awesome. Please become a BIMS member. And like Q said, you know, we do have the free option because it's not about the barrier. We don't want to have any accessibility issues. But there's the pay option because we have to be 100% honest, and the streets have to eat. So, and the organization has to operate. So while we, understand the limitations and barriers we do have the pay option as well. And with that pay option, I'm hearing feedback. I don't know why. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm doing wrong to cause feedback. Okay, I don't hear it anymore. Um, Dang, now what was I talking about? Oh, so we for the pay option, like Q said, we have that the drip, our BIMS drip bag, but also the access to the pay opportunities a bit sooner. So there are a lot of things that we have going on, different speaking engagements and things that folks ask, like, oh, can we have Black marine scientists come speak? Or you have a scientist in your community that researches coral reefs? Do you have a scientist in your community that does this or that? And so we do open those opportunities to everyone on the list serve in the BIMS community, but we do reach out, specifically to paid members because we have a bit more information. And so definitely, again, we don't want you to feel like you can't join BIMS. So we do have that option, but just know that is there. Also, we have created a sponsorship letter. And I want to say this loud and clear because a lot of departments, a lot of jobs will have professional development funding or professional development monies or budgets or something that you can actually tap in to be able to get reimbursed or sponsored for membership. So if you want to become a full paid BIMS member and you are, you want to ask your department or you want to ask your job to pay for it, you can actually reach out to Q and she will send you the sponsorship letter and then you could just give it to your department and it's signed by me. It's official. We got the logo on there, and so they can know that this is real. Because again, these departments, and again, I'm going to say this because every one of these departments has reached out to BIMS talking about how can they diversify marine science. So step one would be to at least pay for the Black people that they do have in their community be to become a BIMS member so you all can have access to this network and start to feel a sense of community in your own spaces. And then we can talk about other things. So that's that step. So again, we challenge them to talk the talk, walk the walk. And so if your department put up a diversity statement in 2020, they should be sponsoring your BIMS membership. If your job did put up a diversity committee in 2020, they should be sponsoring your BIMS membership. Period. You heard it here first. What else do we have going on? What else is going on at BIMS? Oh, we talk about the summer immersive program.
Not yet.
Well, let's talk about it.
All right.
So there is this, I'm just so excited. I think, how do you say this? You know how when you want to do something and you think about it and then somebody like you have finally are able to do it. I think that's what I enjoy about Black and Marine Science the most, because I think we'll sit around and we'll have an idea and we'll just do it. It's not a lot of foolishness. It's not a lot of back and forth. It's not a lot of, what do you mean? What is that? What do you want to do? There's a sense of
sometimes.
CQ, but no, there's a sense of understanding. So anyway, this marine science immersive program, as you can see, where this is not a summer camp. This is a marine science immersed. And so we basically have funding to be able to take students and provide them with this immersive experience, be able to become scuba divers, to be able to have activities with shark tagging, to be able to have an experience with research and scientists, and to be able to come together in community. And so I am very excited to be able to offer this. So if you're listening, if you're an undergraduate student, a Black undergraduate student, we're looking at historically Black colleges and universities, but we'll be open. And we're going to be opening the applications in February. So definitely be on the lookout. So this is another reason you should be running to join our Black and Marine Science, our website and our listserv, so you can have access to these opportunities. And so, yeah, we'll put that out in February. And so hopefully we have a whole bunch of people apply and we will have our first BIMS summer immersive program. Now, this is actually the second round, though, of us doing BIMS kind of diving class. So last year during Black and Marine Science Week, we had our first round of BIMS divers become certified. And so we're going to be doing that again with our summer immersive program. And then we hope to be doing it again as well during BIMS Week 3. And so I'm very excited about that. I'm going to put it out in the atmosphere. I submitted a grant to the Patty Foundation. That's the Patty, P-A-D-I Foundation, for them to sponsor our BIMS diving class for BIMS Week 3. So hopefully we will get a successful grant application and they will come through and we can host the class. Hopefully we can host it anyway, but it will be great if we got a grant, because grants are good. Yay.
Reparations.
See, I wasn't even going there. I was just saying, give me the grant that I wrote. I wrote it was written. It was written. So yeah, but that's very exciting. And I think, again, this just gives me joy to even think about having an idea of like, okay, we want to get 10 or 12 Black undergraduate students certified to be scuba divers. And to say that in a meeting, and then to go write a grant, and then to potentially get it, and then to potentially do it. I want to cry. Like, this is just so awesome. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. All right, we're getting towards the end. What else do we have? What is it, Q? Where are we at? I think I know what it is. So I'm just stalling.
You know we are.
Yeah, I know what it is.
First program. So BIMS Week 3.
Yeah. That's what it is. What are the dates, Q?
The date?
What are the dates of BIMS Week 3? Everybody, drum roll, please.
The last week of November.
I need specific dates and I need more enthusiasm. I don't understand.
Okay, I'm trying to do what is asked of me, but there are no dates.
There is dates. I wrote them.
Not on my script.
November 27th through December 3rd. November 27th through December 3rd. Mark your calendars. November 27th through December 3rd. November 27th through December 3rd of 2022 of this year. BIMS Week is how we got started. That's why I'm so excited about it. If anyone doesn't know the history of Black and Marine Science, I told myself I wasn't gonna cry because I don't gotta keep doing this. Y'all know I love Black and Marine Science, but I think it's the beauty of having just a week of outreach. I would say after the most traumatic year, just 2020 and everything that occurred was traumatic. It was traumatizing. And so to be able to get to the end of the year and have a week dedicated to Black people in marine science, and not only have it dedicated, but folks actually participated and was like, wow, here is my people, here is my community, here is what I want to see. That was the most beautiful thing that's happened in my career. And so we had Black and Marine Science Week 2 last year, and it was even bigger and better than number 1. Maybe we did too much because there was a lot going on. But now, we are going to be planning for Black and Marine Science Week 3, November 27th through December 3rd. So please, if you're a Black Marine Science, if you're an ally, if you're a community member, let us know what you would like to see during BIMS Week this year. What did you love? I know you didn't hate anything. What did you maybe not love so much? And let us know, because again, Black and Marine Science is the manifestation of all those only rooms where we're just there by ourselves, coming together and finally saying, wow, I'm not alone. there are other people who look like me. So please let us know what you would like to see, because it's our biggest event of the year. We fundraise hard for it so we can make it bigger and better. I would love, I can't say if it'll be in person. I think that is definitely a goal and a dream for us to be able to host a Black and Marine Science Week in an actual location. But with COVID restrictions and the numbers increasing, we're currently planning for it to be virtual again for the third year. What we have discussed, and I would love to hear feedback from the Black and Marine Science community, is potentially having local hubs. So maybe we couldn't have the whole BIMS week somewhere, but say there were 5 or so BIMS members, I don't know, in Atlanta, then y'all could have a meetup and host something from your hub in your area. So if that excites you, if that's something you would like to see, please, actually you can put something in the chat right now if you're listening, or you can send us an email and let us know your thoughts, because again, Black and Marine Science Week is for you. And we plan it, and we hope that you all enjoy every aspect of it. All right. I think oh, there's questions. Did we say we was taking questions? Did we say
it's one that goes along with everything you just gave the rundown on. It was from Dr. Kelly.
Okay. Hey, Dr.
Will
Kelly.
BIMS eventually offer professional development training for diversity and inclusion? And currently we do have professional networking opportunities, mentorship, and then what else do we offer? We do have something similar. We don't have a specific structure, but we have people that sign up through BIMS to be mentors, such as professors, scientists, etc., that are willing to help students and others in marine science. I think we should probably go ahead and structure something though to get a mentorship program going.
Yeah, so there is definitely mentorship opportunities, programs that we are connected with. We haven't, again, like you're right, established a full BIMS mentorship program, but I think we're definitely advising on how to become better. I think it's interesting that, the diversity trainings were mentioned, as I have to throw on my other hat, because I do that for my other organization. We do diversity, equity, and inclusion trainings through a Woke Space LLC. And I think what's exciting about that is the opportunity to partner with organizations like Black and Marine Science and other universities to create these workshops and trainings that truly aim to diversify marine science, and they are amplifying the voices of the people that are impacted. A lot of diversity, equity, inclusion trainings that we are required to go to, that I've been through, are generally taught by older white men who don't have the lived experience of oppression like I do. So I think we take a different look at how we run our trainings, looking at it from the lens of someone who is impacted daily by racism and by these things that we're talking about we want to see better, and saying, hey, see me, and see that this is affecting me, and I am a person just like you and your colleague. Why is this happening? What I hope is that the humanizing aspect of Black and Marine Science, where you see people, here we are, and we're telling you, hey, every time I come in the lab, you ask me to go get coffee for some reason. You'll stop, I don't know how much of a training you need if I could just say that to you and you stop, so I'm hoping that we are empowering Black marine scientists to become, large advocates for themselves and have a voice for themselves, that it doesn't take a 2, 3, 4 hour training for you to just treat me like a person, because that's what I think it comes down to ultimately.
And being taught diversity by somebody that actually goes through it should be.
Exactly. That's key. So yeah, I think there's the opportunities for that. I think that, again, BIMS, there's a lot of hurt, a lot of harm, okay, that has been done. And I think we really was focusing on building the community with us, we're in predominantly white led spaces, and that's really not going to change. A lot of Black people aren't just going to come out of nowhere and be marine scientists. So I'm still going to be in these conditions for a while until we build that pipeline up. So how can I stay in that space but still survive? And that's what BIMS is for us, because we can't have that space in our jobs. So I think when folks come in and are trying to, get us to, move in other directions, I think it's cool because we love that you see us, but you have to understand that there is a lot of repair that we're trying to do for our own community. And there's a lack of trust, honestly, that folks see reaching out and it's like, is this real? Is this just for Black History Month? Ooh, don't get me started. This is just for Black History Month because folks have tried it. So again, I think there is the rebuilding that we're trying to do with just the self in our community. So yeah, but there's options. Check out a woke space over there. Any other questions? Anything else? I think this was good. Y'all check out BIMS Hall. We're starting next week. That's where you can come get all your questions answered. That's the time for questions. But also all of the other events we've talked about. I'm so excited. BIMS is booming. BIMS is the blueprint, and I'm very excited to just be able to say that confidently and believe in this organization that we have built and believe in the impact that we have created and that we are going to create, and believe that there could be different, that maybe one day I won't be talking about the lack of diversity in marine science. I'm talking about the overwhelming amount, like, wow, every Black person I know a marine scientist. That's what I'm talking about, So that's the dream, that's the vision. So yeah, follow us this year. Go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, slide to the PayPal, give us a donation. Make sure we can always pay Q because we need our executive expert. We need our executive expert, but ultimately, share our content and talk about us. Tell other people about us. We really hope that this has been well received. Let us know. And yeah, but ultimately just treat people like people. That's it. Again, I've said it so many times, the ocean is on fire and people worry about if we can swim or stuff like that. It's like, why? So that's what we're doing this year, guys. I'm very excited. We're gonna do great things. What's up?
By us, for us.
That's it. Boo boo. Boo boo. All righty, y'all. I think, man, I'm mad because this was supposed to be like 30 minutes, but of course we started talking.
Having too much fun.
But no, yeah, and that's why I love BIMS. Like the time just flies by, and I'm like, wow, all this stuff got done. See how you can be productive when you're in a warm, nurturing environment.
Right. Except when all them emails start coming through.
Now listen, time to stop the live. Okay. Thank y'all. Again, tune in for BIMS Hall next week. Subscribe, become a member, send Q an email if you have any questions. That's fellows@bims.org. FELLOWS@BIMS.org.
It's in the chat. It's
in the chat. It's in the chat as well. Yeah. All righty, y'all. Have a good night.